Today's session is an introductory session. We are not going to get into technology. I'll just give a brief introduction to Python and also how to install Python interpreter on your PC. However, from tomorrow, we are going to start coding not from a conventional perspective, but from a gaming perspective, but from a problem solving perspective. So let's unlock our data driven future. As you can see on the screen, it's a 6-month program and specifically designed for students who are pursuing their academics. However, if you're not a student yet, you can continue with this session. Right. So my name is Ravi Singham, and I'm head of data science and AI for CodeZ. And this is a charity-based organization called Think Algo Club. On behalf of them, we are going taking this, or we are giving this program. Now let's get ahead. Are you ready? That is a question I would like to ask. There are n number of opportunities. In fact, there are unlimited opportunities when it comes to data related career. If you become a data expert, you may call yourself a business analyst, you may call yourself a data analyst, you may call yourself data scientist, or you may call yourself AI developer or ML developer. Whatever you call, you are basically a data expert. So are you ready to unlock the world of career possibilities with the power of data? If you are ready, now let's see what you are going to learn in this program. So let's see what are the benefits we are going to see or reap in this program. Right. So the first thing is we are going to learn how to code. We are going to use Python programming language, which is the hottest programming language right now in the world. And using Python programming language, we are going to code the solutions. This is not a conventional programming language codes. Okay, it is specifically tailored or tailor-made to solve the problems that you face in the real world. So that's number one. We'll start with this. Number two, you're going to create stunning dashboards and reports, which includes graphs, charts, and we add interactivity to the graphs and charts, and also we'll make them dynamic. In fact, you can become a data visualization wizard. That's what you are going to become in this program. Then we are going to extract answers from databases. When I say extract answers from databases, I mean we are going to get insight from databases. You may be using different databases, or you may be using different data sources which are close to database. You can extract the answers for your questions from the databases. That's the main objective. And finally, we are going to understand what is a data science, what is a machine learning, and how to shape our thinking to be a data wizard. So these are the 4 areas which we are going to see in this program. Right, let's have an overview of the program. The duration is 6 months. Now this may sound very unrealistic because 6 months, who is going to stick with whom? Yes, that's true in one sense. But these 6 months are going to add extreme value to your career. That's number one. Number two, our focus is on data analytics and the related technologies. When I use the word data analytics is a very large spectrum, which includes business analytics, data science, analytics itself, and partly AI and ML. So that is the focus for the 6 months. However, we are going to learn the tools. We learn the tools and we are going to use the tools. Right. Now, finally, you know, who are the target audience? You are the target audience. You are a student, maybe you are a job seeker, then this program is for you because it includes internship. Right. So at the end of 6 months, what am I going to gain? That is another question that we need to ask ourselves. You're going to learn some in-demand skills. There are several skills which have demand in the market, and one such skill is Python coding. Then you are going to learn Power BI essentials. Now, Power BI is used by more than 80% of Fortune 500 companies. So it is the number one data analytics and data visualization tool. Probably you might have heard about other tools, but nothing can compete with Power BI. So we need to keep that in mind. Then Excel. Now you may ask, why do I need to learn Excel? For two reasons, you need to learn Excel. Now there are certain things you can use in Excel with a lot of flexibility. Okay, you can quickly create uh, fictitious data. You can use the functions, myriad of functions, and also you can quickly create some reports using pivot table. And apart from that, everybody uh, from senior executive to the youngest person, okay, so everybody knows Excel. Everybody knows Excel. So people are familiar with Excel. When I say they know Excel, I didn't mean they know how to use Excel. I mean they are aware of Excel. Okay, everybody at some point they might have worked with Excel to an extent. So you are going to learn the most essential concepts in Excel for a data analyst. Okay, we are not going to look at everything in Excel. That's another concept we should keep in mind. Okay, then we are going to talk about SQL. Now, SQL is the industry standard for databases. It's a query language. You're going to learn all the essential, query components. Then comes data science and AI. So data science is a very important, field as of now, and we know about AI. AI is revolutionizing everything. So we are going to understand the concepts of data science and AI. When I say data science and AI, my implication is this: you are going to learn the essential statistical models and essential linear algebra models in the data science and ChatGPT concepts. When I talk about ChatGPT, I don't just talk about ChatGPT. I talk about large language models, LLMs, okay, which is behind ChatGPT, Google Gemini, and Microsoft Copilot. There are many such tools. You are going to learn those things. Hands-on experience. Now, after you learn these in-demand skills, these essential tools or coding skill, then you're going to do a lot of hands-on activities. You are going to do a lot of exercises. You're going to do a lot of mini projects, and these mini projects, they mirror the real world challenges which you face in your day-to-day life. So that is one thing you should keep in mind. Right. So after that, the third area is real world internship. Now you may ask me, what internship do you provide? So this is a 6 months course. After 4 months, you'll be provided 60 days of internship. Now, when I say 60 days of internship, it is not that I'll give you internship, but in fact the Codezy organization, which is going to give you an internship. It's a 2-month internship for practical experience. They are not going to pay you anything, and you don't need to pay them anything. Unlike many internship programs where they just try to use the students, and then they don't want to add any value to the student's resume. So many people say, you will be working as a Python intern, but they don't give any kind of activities related to Python or coding. So they make them do their office related chores which are not associated with in the field that the candidate chose. So that's not the case with us. Okay, so you'll be given relevant experience that will add value to your resume, and when you go out and when you talk about it in the market, people will really appreciate you. Okay, so they will really give value to your CV, and you can talk about it eloquently when you face an interviewer. Okay, please keep that in mind. Okay, and finally, you will provide a certificate. When I say certificate, certificate has no value without you know uh, knowledge. So in the third stage you get knowledge, and in the fourth stage we give a certificate to affirm whatever you are saying is real and true. So this is what you are going to gain from this program. And on top of that, we all know, so the price is one time offer, it's 800 rupees. You all know that, I don't want to talk about it. Okay, right. So let's see the program structure. Let's see the program structures, which is in three levels. Number one, first 12 weeks will learn skills and theory. We are going to learn the technology. This is the technology part. The first 12 weeks is the technology part. Then from 13th week to 18th week, you are going to do projects and exercises. But let me also add one more thing here. You are going to do small projects and daily exercises. I'm not going to give any exercises in this first week. Why? The reason is very simple. First week we'll set the stage. We'll give you essentials. Okay, but we are going to do exercises starting from second week. Okay, first week we set the stage. Okay, so that we can build upon that. Okay, now in the second level you'll be given hands-on projects and exercises. In the third week, in the third stage, week number 19 to 24, 2 months internship. In this 2 months internship, you are going to learn a lot of things. In fact, you will really enjoy the journey with us. Okay, now let me tell you one more thing. Okay, you are going to attend the classes on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Not every day, not on Friday and Saturday. For Friday and Saturday, we'll give you exercises, we'll give you activities. Using those exercises and activities, you have to build your programming muscle. You have to develop the skills. Okay. And let me tell you, this is a supportive environment. So I am there along with me. There are two more people. We are going to give you support. We are going to help you learn the subject. We are going to help you to increase your morale. So that's our objective. Right. Now, I have trained hundreds of students, in fact, thousands of students. And you will be one of my students. You will be successful like many of my students. Now, in the market, the success percentage of any faculty is between 1 and 2%. Compared to them, my student success percentage is very huge. So I want you to be one of those successful people. I want your name to be, you know, uh, you to be significant in this domain. So that's my objective. So connect with me. I shared WhatsApp community link in the email. So those who have received the meeting code through email. So that's a Microsoft account. From my Microsoft account, you have received an email. So I shared the WhatsApp group link there. Use that WhatsApp group link and join. That's number one. And you can connect with me on LinkedIn. So my full name is Singham Ravi Babu. So you can go to LinkedIn and you can connect to me. And then if you want to send personal emails, you can send it to this email ID. And the one email, the email that you have received, it is official email. So I won't be, having casual conversations through my official email, but through this email, you can have casual conversations with me. Okay. And I'll be sending some registration forms when it comes to internship. And also when it comes to certain activities, I'm going to share with you some registration forms, some forms, not just registration forms, but some forms. Okay. These are the things you should keep in mind. Okay. Now, I just want to congratulate you and I wish all the best for you. Now, let's get into the subject. I presume my screen is visible and you are able to see my screen. So on the screen, I assume you are able to see, text that is Python. Okay, it's the title of the PPT. Okay, you are able to see that. And Python is a very big programming language. When I say very big programming language, it's a comprehensive programming language. And there are a lot of aspects to Python. And I'm going to explore some of the aspects of Python, some of the features of Python. Now, this program has four essential parts. First one is Python. Second one is Power BI and Excel. And third one is SQL. And in the fourth level, we are going to start discussing about data science and AI concepts. Okay. Now, so we are going to get into Python now. So we are not going to discuss Python exhaustively. We are not going to learn everything about Python, which is not possible. And that is not objective of anybody in the world. Everybody wants to learn minimum Python, or you can call it as essential Python. Essential Python to do their day-to-day activities or chores in the office. If you're a freelancer, probably you may need to explore more because your learning curve is very steep, and you have to learn a lot of things because you are going to face real world challenges, and your environment will change, your client will change very often. That's a different thing, but whatever it is, you are need to learn essential Python. Now let me tell you, whatever you hear today, this is just an introduction, this is just a conceptual overview. Our real classes will start from tomorrow. From tomorrow onwards, I'm going to focus on coding from very practical perspective. So you are going to learn things from very, very practical perspective. Just keep that in mind. Sometimes I'm going to talk about gaming concepts. Sometimes I'm going to talk about some business concepts. And we are going to implement Python in the context of such contexts. Okay, right. So why do I need to learn Python? Okay, that's a very essential question, which I'll be answering in this PPT. But before that, we are learning Python in this program specifically for data science, analytics, and AI. So that is the objective for us to learn Python in this program. Okay, so right, let's get ahead. Okay, you see the guy on the screen. His name is Guido van Rossum. He's the one who created Python. In the late 1980s, in the year 1989, during his Christmas holidays, he developed Python programming language, or he created the Python programming language. He is a college professor, and he's an academician. So he just developed a language in his free time, and he didn't advertise his language like Java people did. So when Java was developed, created in the 1995, so they advertised about Java. They used lots of money to promote Java into the market. So Java became eventually very popular. But this language is not marketed, no advertisement for it. So he just shared his new invention with his colleagues, with his students. Slowly, they began to use this language. So it grew within the confinements of academics. So people began to contribute to it. People began to develop it. So, and as a community, many people contributed to Python. So eventually, Python became very robust, very scalable, very powerful programming language. Being a carnivorous creature, Python swallowed many programming languages. As of now, this is the best, top, and hot programming language in the world that we know for sure. Okay, right. And let me tell you one more thing. It doesn't matter whether you're coming from commerce background, whether you're coming from arts background, or whether you're coming from, computer science background or engineering background. It doesn't matter. And even if you don't have any solid educational qualification, that's okay. Still, you can learn this programming language. Okay, so rest assured. So I'm here to help you learn this code. Okay, starting from tomorrow, we are going to explore the Python. Now, as I told you, Guido was the creator of this language, and he named this language as Python. Unlike C, R language, S language, B language, he named it as Python because he used to love a comedy group called Monty Python. So he named this language after that comedy group name. This is a bit of history. So Python is a well organized toolbox. What does it mean? Python is a very perfect programming language from one perspective, and it gives you a lot of tools to work with. Okay, it's a toolbox. So a comprehensive toolbox with just basic Python installed on your PC, you can do wonderful things. And the beautiful thing is you don't need to use obscure code. Okay, this code is not ambiguous, cluttered like other programming languages where everything is cluttered. Okay, everything is not clear when it comes to other programming languages. So when you look at the code, the moment you look at the code, you will develop an aversion towards the programming languages. But when it comes to Python, it's in plain English. They use the words like if, else, while, for, try, finally. Okay, so there are a lot of words, and Python is a very simple language. Anybody can learn it. Anybody can learn it. Okay, so there is something called Zen of Python. That means there are certain rules. If you want to write clean code, okay, I'm going to discuss that at the end of this Python module. So Zen, okay, then readability counts. Python is highly readable programming language. Even a non-coder, a person without programming background, when they look at Python code, they will understand what the program is doing without having programming background. That is the beauty of Python programming language. So it's highly readable. It's highly readable. Okay, right. So Python has captured the hearts and minds of recent developers, and it's a favorite tool for many people, people from web development background, cybersecurity, and people from data science background. Okay, and Python is a very flexible and simple language, and since 2000 it started to grow in the market. Okay, now Python is the best friend of data. You talk about any data related domain like data science, data analytics, AI, machine learning, deep learning, business analytics, okay, visualization. You talk about any data related domain, Python is the best choice. There is no programming language that is more suitable for data related domains than Python. Than Python. Python is developed by Guido Van Rossum, but now he is not leading the group. He led the group till 2020, but he is not leading the group. Okay, community is leading the Python. Right, what is Python today? It is the most widely used programming language. Many people love it. You can do tiny projects, toy projects, and also you can develop applications which will affect entire globe. And you can do a lot of things, from very rigid things to creative things. You can do many things, and you can do everything in between. You know, code and creativity, anything. That's the beauty of Python. Okay, right. So what is the legacy of Python? It made coding accessible to everybody. It made coding simple. You can solve the problems quickly and you can implement your ideas. It is like a magic wand in the hand of a coder. Okay, now let me answer one question. Why learn Python programming when there are several programming languages? Everybody says, certain programming language is the best programming language. When so many programming languages are there in the market, why learn Python? That's the question. That's the question we need to ask ourselves. Okay, right. There are three reasons: Python's versatility, Python's simplicity, and Python's libraries. Versatility, that means you can do almost anything with Python. Simplicity, easy to learn and easy to code. And libraries, you have pre-built libraries. You don't need to develop everything from scratch. You can use somebody else's work and embed it into your application, and you can quickly develop a new application. You can wrap your own skin and you can produce a new application very quickly. Right. So Python has a lot of benefits. It has a lot of features. Okay, number one, readability. Syntax is very readable because it is in plain English. It is beginner friendly. As I told you, anybody from any background can learn Python. Okay, and the code is short. If you take Java or C++ and to develop an application in Java or C++, it takes a lot of lines to develop an application in Java or C++. Let's say to develop an application, a specific application, if you have to write 1,000 lines of code in Java or C++, you can finish the same in 200 to 300 lines of code in Python. So you can quickly easily develop the code. And if you're reading somebody else's code, you can easily understand it and you can write your code easily. It's a general purpose programming language. What does it mean? Python is meant to do everything. It is meant to do everything. It is meant for web development. It is meant for game development. It is meant for cyber security. It is meant for desktop application development. It is meant for data science and AI. It is meant for creating small applications which will help us to fix the issues in a or gaps in a large applications. It will help you to automate the things. So you can do many things with Python. Okay, like web development, data analysis, AI, and it has a lot of frameworks and libraries to do all these things. Okay, and there are abundant libraries and frameworks available. Okay, so there are built-in tools, there are third-party gems. If you don't find any built-in tool, you can go to a website called pypi.org. That means PyPy, Python package index. Go to that website. For every application that you want to develop, you will find a pre-written code there, a pre-written library there. So you don't need to code everything from scratch. Let's say you want to develop a game, and in that game you need to throw the bombs. Somebody might have wrote code for that, throwing bombs. You can just embed that in your code, and that's how you can develop the applications quickly. Okay, and I can just give you some examples. So you want to do some numerical analysis, there is a library called NumPy. It does a lot of numerical analytical activities. Pandas, if you want to handle one dimension and two dimension data, Pandas is there. If you want to create good robots, evil robots, that means bots, software robots are called bots. If you want to create AI applications, you have TensorFlow. If you want to do web development, very mature framework is there, Django. Okay, and you can create stunning visuals. Okay, you can show people, dynamic and interactive visuals. You can, project the live stock market data, and you can show the data in real time using graphs and charts, and you can handle any kind of data actually. So charts, graphs, images, okay, interactive elements, dashboards, reports. You can add a lot of things to your visuals. It's a wonderful tool. Okay, and we have frameworks. You have frameworks, not just you. We have libraries. We have frameworks. That means there are some environments that will make development very easy. Okay, very easy, especially when it comes to web development. We have frameworks. Okay, and Python is used in machine learning and AI. So that is what our focus is. Okay, you can use popular machine learning libraries like TensorFlow, Keras, PyTorch, Scikit-learn. Okay, there are many tools. Okay, you can use them, and Python has a community support. See, the best part of Python is this. The best part of Python is this. You are not alone. You have a question, go and search on Google. There is a community, specific Python communities. Some communities, they focus on, you know, game development. Some focus on desktop application development. Some focus on web development. So you can go to any community, you can join, or you can join more than one community, and you can learn from that community. Learn, ask your questions, and you also answer the questions. You can contribute. So you can do a lot of wonderful things in the community. Okay. And another reason for Python is cross-platform compatibility. Many programming languages claim that they are platform independent. What does it mean? You can code an application on one platform and you can execute on any other platform. Like you can write an application on Windows, you can run it on Linux or Mac OS X. But in reality, when you write some code on Windows and try to execute it on Linux or Mac OS X or vice versa, what happens is you have to make a lot of changes to the code. That's not the case with Python. With Python, you can write the code on one platform. Maybe you may write 10,000 lines of code, and you can take that code to another platform. At most, you have to make only one line, change in one line. That's it. And you can run that on any platform at most. That's the beauty of Python, which is actually very unrealistic for other programming languages. But in Python, it is possible. It is actually a platform independent programming language. Rapid prototyping and development. You want to develop a quick application. Let's say your organization has a very big need and you want to create a sample, or you want to create a quick rough application. You can do that using Python. So Python supports in that area. Just keep that in mind. It's a really beautiful language. Those who want to develop applications quickly or solve problems quickly, Python is the best choice they have. Not second best, but the best choice they have. How about job opportunities and career growth? just go to Google and search. That's it. Plenty of opportunities. Okay, you learn Python, you are empowered, and you can start your coding journey, and you can really impact your career. Okay, so this is all about Python. Now, for today, we are going to see how to install Python also on our PCs or no desktop. So we are going to see that. I'm going to share my screen again. Okay. Okay, I'm going to share my full screen. I think my entire screen is visible now. Right. Okay, so let's install Python on our computer. So from tomorrow onward, we are going to see how to code using Python. But today, we are going to see how to install Python. So we are just preparing an environment today. So there is something called IDLE. We need to install it on our PC. So I'm going to talk about it a bit, and you don't need to worry much about that. So I'm going to share this video. You can just go through this video and learn how to install it. So I need some time to edit it. So and then I'll send it to you. Right. So installing Python interpreter on Windows. I'm not going to talk about how to install it on Linux or Mac OS X, but I'm going to talk about how to install it on Windows. Now, what is interpreter? Interpreter is a small tool, a software tool that will help you to code and execute that code. Okay, it's a tool where you code and execute your code. So that's called interpreter. So we are going to download and install that interpreter. So where do I get my interpreter? From Python official website, which is python.org. Python.org, which is Python's official website. Go there and download it. Okay, so just download the latest version and just install it. That's it. Just double click that downloaded file. You will start installing it. So download the latest version. If you are new to Python, download the latest version. If you are not new to Python, then probably you may choose earlier versions. See, I used to use Python 3.6, then I used Python 3.7, then I used Python 3.9, 3.10. I'm right now using 3.9, 10. But there is Python 3.11, 3.12 is also available. So we are going to download the latest version of Python. Okay, so always do that. Always install the latest version because you are new to coding. So start with the latest version. Those who are into this field since long time, they are habituated with a older version. So you don't find any much difference between newer and older versions. Okay, download the installer and double click on it. It will start installing for you. That's it. Okay, so let's do that. I will switch to browser. You see, I type python.org. Now, do you see a menu bar? Hover the mouse on downloads. And when you hover the mouse on downloads, you see Python 3.1 12.2. That is the latest version. Click on this button. It will download the Python for Windows. Okay. But if you want to install the previous versions, just go down and click on the view full list of downloads. You don't need to do it because you are a beginner. Go with the latest version. Okay. Right. So click on this. And if you're using some other operating system like Mac OS or other platforms, okay, then choose other platforms. But you don't need to do that now because you are a beginner. So click on this. So it started downloading. Almost done. I think more than 50% it is done. So now, it shows it's downloaded. So I click on that. I click on that, and you see this dialog box. You see this dialog box. Let me switch to PPT. Okay. So before you install, okay, you have to add Python to path. This is the most important option. You have to check that checkbox. So look at this dialog box. Look at this dialog box. Now this is the installation wizard. At the bottom, there is add python.exe to path. Add python.exe to path. You have to tick it. That means you have to check it. If you don't check the checkbox, if you leave it unchecked, what happens is you cannot run a lot of different libraries, and you will face problem with installing or adding components to Python or removing components from Python. You should always check it. Okay, check it, and go up and choose customize installation if you want to customize your installation. Or if you are okay with the install now, then you can click on install now. See the components which are included in install now are ideally pip documentation. So for me, install now is okay. I don't need to choose customize installation, but I'll make sure this checkbox is checked. So I click on install now, and it started installing. Okay, it will finish the installation. Meanwhile, we'll switch to PPT. Okay, so add Python to path. Check the box to add Python to path. Path explanation or explanation of path for system access. So you need to use it, otherwise you will face some difficulty. If you are a pro, you can handle it. If you are not pro, you cannot handle it. But even pros, they'll also check it because they don't want to have hassle when it comes to adding and removing the libraries from Python. Okay, so once the installation is over, you can just close, and then we can go to start menu. From there we can see the Python. Okay, right. So let me check how far the installation is done. So I think, yeah, setup was successful. That means application is installed successfully. Okay, let me click close. Right. So now I go to start menu, and I choose all apps. Okay, I scroll down. I see Python 3.10, which is on my PC. There is Python 3.11, and also there is Python 12, 3.12, because this is the latest one which we have installed now. Expand it, expand it. When you expand it, you see ideally is the tool. That is the interpreter. That is where we type the code. That is where we execute the code. That is a tool where we type our code. That is a tool where we execute our code. So let's click on IDLE. It is actually technically IDE, Integrated Development Environment. But in Python, because Python is named after Monty Python comedy group, there is a character in that comedy group called IDLE. So this tool is named after that character. Okay, but technically it is IDE, Integrated Development Environment. Okay, click on IDE. Right. So now you see this is IDE. Now you see these three greater than symbols on the left side. That is called prompt. That is called prompt. The three greater than symbols on the left side are called prompt. At prompt, you can type one command at a time. you can execute only one statement at a time. If you want to write a program, you have to go to a different place. Okay, but let's type the command 10 plus 45. This is an arithmetic command. Okay, or 2 to the power of 20. You can see the answer. Okay, 8 divided by 0.0001. Okay, which is close to 8 lakhs. Okay, so you can perform arithmetic operations, you can perform logical operations, you can perform Boolean operations, you can perform different types of operations. We are going to see those operations. However, keep in mind, okay, we are very much focused on what we want to do. Okay, we want to learn essential or lean Python specific for the data science and AI. Okay, now I want to execute a command. Okay, hello. See, it prints hello. Print function will print and hello. Let me print, uh, you know, 18 table. Okay, 18 table up to 18 15s. So let me do that. Okay. Okay. Now let's see. 18 into 15. See, you got 18 table. So why did I execute this? I just wanted to convey one truth. So when you are using IDLE, it will help you in several ways. Look at the output. Output is in blue color. See, output is in blue color. Look at the text. Text is in green color. Look at the functions like range and print. They are in purple color. Look at the keywords for and in. They are in orange color. Look at the values. They are in black color. So it will help you to identify, these colors will help you to identify whether you made any typo mistake or not. Even then, we are going to make a lot of typo mistakes. Without mistakes, nobody will learn coding. Okay, just keep that in mind. Okay, just keep that in mind. Okay, right. So I hope you understood. You can write one command here and execute it. So let's say you write one command 100 plus 200. You enter, you hit enter, it will give the output. How about I want to write an entire program? Where should I go? Go to file menu, choose new file. Now this is simply like a notepad. It is not a notepad, but it is simply like a notepad. You can write an entire program here. Okay, your program may contain 20 lines, 30 lines, 40 lines, and you execute it. It will execute line after line in your code. Okay, that's what it does. Okay, so that is where we end today, but let me just finish the PPT. So verify the installation, just type some commands, and your interpreter is very interactive. Okay, and whenever you write a program, that file should be saved with a .py extension. .py extension. Py stands for Python. There are several extensions. I'm going to talk about them in the coming sessions. Okay, so how do you execute this code? Just press F5 on the keyboard. If you're writing your code in the file or file editor or in the editor, you have to use F5, or you can go to menu, run and execute. So which